But right now, joining us live from Baltimore, a friend of the show, a friend of mine, proud Canadian, proud American, and a proud day for him, Sasho Cirovski, head coach of University of Maryland. Sasho, welcome and Happy New Year.
Anthony, a pleasure to be with you, and Happy New Year to you, and a great day for TFC and Maryland soccer.
Let's talk about it, Sasho. The emotions must have been unbelievable for you as a coach, as a mentor to these young men, for your school, for the families. It had to be an unbelievable day. Go through the emotions after the first player and then the second player was selected from your school.
Well, first with Tsubasa Endoh being picked number 9 by Toronto FC was really special for a lot of reasons. And here's a young man who came from Tokyo to my summer camp. He's part of the Japanese residency program, showed up at my summer camp unannounced, could not speak a word of English, but had this dream of hoping to play in Major League Soccer and experiencing the American university college system. And I thought there was no chance. 6 months later, I get a call from him saying that he just passed the SAT test and he'd been traveling once a week from his Japanese residency program. There's 4 in the national team program. He took a train an hour and a half each way to take the SAT practice test and learn English. As soon as we knew he'd become eligible, we loved the character, we started to pursue him. A year and a half later, he enrolls at Maryland and has to enroll in an intensive English program that doesn't count for academic credit, so he has to take winter, summer classes, online classes, in addition to his full-time studies while playing for us so that he can learn the English language, pursue his dream of playing at Maryland, and hoping to get a shot to play in Major League Soccer. 4 years later, the young man won 7 conference championships, 4 in the ACC, 4 regular season championships, 3 conference championships between the ACC and the Big Ten. He's had a fantastic career, and then he gets a chance to now be drafted by Toronto Football Club and have a chance to maybe play alongside Giovinco. And it was hard not to be emotional to see this young man's dream come true. It's a journey of thousands of miles, and I think the best is yet to come. So I'm delighted for him. And then an hour later we get a second player drafted again. And of course, for me, it's an annual process of our players being drafted. But this was a little special because our second player came from Brazil, from Rio de Janeiro, through junior college, came here with the idea of pursuing a dream of playing professionally. He was a wonderful player, great student, and Houston Dynamo picked him up. But so it was a special occasion. I just spent the last 2 hours having dinner with both of them and their families, and it's great, to allow them to have their dreams come true, and chance to coach them is a privilege and a pleasure. And Toronto FC is going to get a fantastic soccer player, a real pro in Tsubasa.
And let's talk about that. I mean, here, the way you explained it, it sounds like his character is unbelievable. He's a hard worker. He's a kid that has always done what's needed to do to get the job done. Let's talk about Tsubasa and what he brings to the table for TFC. We know that this summer they're going to be losing a lot of players to different competitions, whether it's the Euro with Giovinco, whether it's Bradley and Altidore. He could be a key part come the middle of the summer for TFC. What can TFC fans expect from him? Offensive, defensive? Tell us a little bit more, Sasho.
Yeah, he's a midfielder at heart. In a 3-front, he can play on the left or right side. In a 2-front, he's a guy that can play in the midfield. For me, he's played in a diamond midfield. He's played on the right side and the attacking midfield. Look, this is a young man who does not stop running. He likes to play the game at a sprint. He has 2 very, very good feet. He can play provider. He can play goal scorer. I think that the Toronto FC fans will like him because he's their kind of player. He's somebody that is a true pro. He doesn't take any plays off. He likes to play the game at a sprint. He reminds me a little bit of Graham Zusi, who's gone on to quite a bit of success with Sporting Kansas City in the U.S. national team. He's played a lot of similar roles for me over 4 years, and like Graham, he progressed every year, and then even accelerated his progression in the professional ranks. I don't want to put the pressure of Graham's success, because even Graham's success, was not something I predicted, but it was something that I could see coming. So without putting pressure on the young man, I think he has a lot of similar qualities, and I think the fans will like him because he'll put in honest day effort every time. I don't think they're going to ever be upset with his effort, but his quality is undeniable.
Sasho, a lot of people were surprised with this pick. A lot of people didn't see him going this high as he did with TFC. The MLS Combine, he was outstanding. What do you think Tim Bazbachenko, Bill Manning, Greg Vanney saw in this young man to make this pick today in believing in him?
Well, I think he's like a coach's pro. He's a soccer player. I think, the Toronto FC last year saw that the best player in the league was a 5'4" player in Sebastian Giovinco. That you don't have to be, although it's an athletic league, you don't have to be a superstar athlete. You don't have to be 6'4" and run the 40 in 4.2 seconds. That being a soccer player, somebody with very good technical ability, with very good agility, very good balance, is important. And I think that they looked at Tsubasa, and he arguably may have been one of the most complete players in the draft, and certainly he's probably the best midfielder in the draft. And I think they looked at and said, okay, this is an area where we'd like some help. And I spoke to everyone in the technical staff at TFC. They saw him carefully. They saw him play a couple of years ago when Jason Bent came out to watch our team play in the playoffs. So they were familiar with him, and I think he confirmed their thoughts. And look, it's a process. I don't want to put too much pressure on him because it's a very strong league. Toronto FC brings back a very strong squad. I think he's going to find his way, and I think he's going to, like you said, with some of the departures, with the competition, he'll be relied upon, and I think he'll deliver.
Sasha, we know you're a super busy guy. Just a quick couple other questions. We'll let you go. Talk a little bit about Ivan. He's headed off to the Houston Dynamo. He is going to be a piece that I'm sure they're going to use possibly late in the season. Maybe, who knows, he might get a starting role. Talk a little bit about Ivan and what he brings to the Houston Dynamo.
Yeah, Ivan's a left-footed, 6'1" Brazilian center back that loves to defend, and that's a bit of an oxymoron when you look at many of the Brazilian center backs. They're more known for their ability with the ball than their defensive ability. So he's someone that loves to defend. He came a different path. He took a couple of years off through some injuries after playing with the Santos Football Club and also with the Corinthians Club. And then he found his way into junior college because he didn't know the process to go to a Division I school. Pictuz is a place where he thought he could have his dreams come true. And in 1 year, he really progressed with every game. And I would say in the last 6 weeks of the year, I'm not sure there was many better center backs in the country than Ivan. And I think he's a player that's on the upward swing. He hasn't played a high level for a few years. So I think Houston saw that. I would not be surprised if you see him in the starting lineup in their first game this year.
Sasha, just before we let you go, let's talk about the local kid up from these parts. He came from the Vaughan Soccer Club, Dane St. Clair, a goalkeeper. How is he progressing? How do you see him in 2016, 2017?
Dane is an outstanding young man and a terrific goalkeeper. He's someone that I feel that someday will play for the Canadian full national team. I have tremendous faith in Dane. Just a wonderful young man to coach. I think he's going to play significantly for us next year, and I think he's going to be somebody that is going to help us win championships, and certainly one day will be very high on the draft board and playing his trade in Major League Soccer. The best is yet to come. He improved tremendously throughout the year. Early in the year, we're splitting goalkeepers, and a veteran, Cody Niedermeyer, got hot and did very well, but I intend on using both goalkeepers next year.
Sasho, thank you so much for making time in a busy, busy day for you, for your school, for your players. We thank you so much. God bless you. Continued success, and we love seeing you up here watching League One Ontario games. So make your way up here because there's a lot of supporters of Sasho Cirovski and what he has done down south. We haven't forgotten you. So again, thank you so much, Sasho, for taking time.
All right, Anthony, thank you so much, and we'll talk soon.
That is head coach of University of Maryland, Sasho Cirovski, a friend of the show and a friend of mine, a class act, and a guy that has produced, developed, churned out player after player for Team USA. Graham Zusi, so many players that have come out of that program. 2 today drafted, 1 with TFC, 1 with Houston. The guy is just unbelievable what he does down there with the University of Maryland.